So some information here. Planted this buckwheat primarily for bee forage, and a few observations. One, they definitely pull nectar and pollen from the buckwheat, and the buckwheat itself seems to be most in a mode of producing nectar in the mornings. The by the time, at this time of morning, it's about 9:30, but starting early, they're all over it, and they really work it hard. And try to get you to focus there. They work it really hard, and by noon there's hardly a bee out here, and by mid-afternoon there's not a bee out here. So that tells me that the nectar flow is clearly strongest in the morning, and they just stop working it in the afternoon. So right now, this is right at the end of August. They're definitely pulling in nectar from the buckwheat, and they are pulling in a lot. I've got about maybe 1.25 acres to 1.5 acres here, and it's a very marked difference from a couple of weeks ago before this was in bloom. And so you'll my plan on this field is to basically plant it into clovers and other plants that are beneficial for the bees forage wise, but in the meantime I thought I would try a crop of buckwheat temporarily here, and I think I can say that it's definitely done what I wanted it to do. This time of year, pretty scarce natural resources other than pollen around here, and so it has kept them busy, that's for sure. Kept fresh natural nectar coming in. We'll get some keep the colony strong here going into fall, and then we'll kind of, once this bloom is about done, we'll disc this in, and then kind of let the nest naturally shrink. So I don't know if I'll get a buckwheat honey crop off of this. Right now I've only got 2 medium honey supers on, 2 of the strongest colonies. The rest I'm just really more interested right now in building up their strength and getting that winter brood established. So the buckwheat itself, very easy to grow. I got real lucky, planted this at the end of July. Got a rain the night after I seeded, and about a 1/2 inch a couple weeks later, and then 1 inch a few days ago. So I've had 3 rains since planting. Just about perfect timing for it. And then so kind of got lucky on that, in that arena, if you will. So yeah, the other hives that I don't have supers on all have Apigard on them, so we were into the mite treatments. The 2 hives with supers washed 0 mites yesterday, so I'm not too concerned about them. And we'll see if they can produce honey. They're also the 2 most productive hives that I have. So there's, to me, a very clear correlation between low or no mite count versus even you know, 4 or 5 mites washed. So just an FYI there. But forage for bees, buckwheat definitely has filled in the gap here this late summer. And you know, keeping them busy for sure. You know, my thoughts are that bringing in, you know, a natural nectar flow and plenty of pollen is a good, healthy thing for the colonies, for all kinds of reasons. And don't really expect a buckwheat honey crop off of this. We'll see if we get any, but not really the intention as much as really providing the, you know, late summer forage in a time when there's not a whole lot out in the natural environment. So anyway, that's my thoughts on buckwheat. If you have bees, if you're thinking about buckwheat, I would recommend it. You know, we'll see what the results are at the end, but they certainly love it. They're all over it, and it's definitely filling a gap here. So hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it very much. If you like this kind of content, just give me a like, thumbs up, and please consider subscribing.